memory of Jason still haunts you, you're not alone. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Welcome back to the 31 Days of Spooks. My name is Dylan Goebel, and today we're talking about Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning, released in 1985. That's right, 1 year after the final chapter. Yeah, you could tell Paramount just wanted the money for Friday the 13th. Anyways, yeah, Friday the 13th, Part 5. Everyone's favorite installment, am I right? Well, I know some people hate this movie, and I used to hate this movie, actually. This used to be one of my least favorite installments, but after rewatching it, you know what? I actually like this movie quite a bit. It's still not one of my favorite Friday the 13th films, but I do like it. It's very entertaining. There's a surprising amount of comedy in this movie. Everyone says that Part 6 was the most comedy-driven, which it is, but this movie also has quite a bit of comedy in it. This is also the sleaziest Friday the 13th film. Apparently, from what I heard, what the director said, this movie was kind of shot like a fucking porno, but then, of course, the MPAA had to cut all that shit out. Although, even though there's still a shit ton of nudity in this movie, yeah. So, yeah, prepared. If you like titties, you're gonna like this film. What do I like about this film particularly, besides the humor and the titties? I like the story of Tommy in this film. I like how it just explores like the PTSD that he has from his experiences in Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Yeah, like you could tell this guy is just fucked up, like beyond belief. Like, holy shit, he's hallucinating that Jason's nearby, even though Jason's not there, and shit like that. He has some fucking very violent outbursts. I don't know. It's good stuff. It is. And also, the characters are fucking hilarious in this movie. Like, there's this fucking middle-aged woman fucking character who's just always angry at these kids in this halfway house. Yeah, you get some pretty comedy. You get some pretty good comedy gold in those scenes. Do I like the kills in this movie? Okay, this is where my problem kind of starts with this film. The kills are not very good. Like, you get a couple of good kills. Like, there's this fucking one where this greaser gets a road flare in the mouth. That's pretty good. My favorite by far is when this guy just gets his skull crushed with a belt right up against a tree. Yeah, that was a pretty good kill. But also, aside from that, most of the kills are off screen. There's almost no gore in this movie. Like, yeah, you get to see some like bloody aftermaths of the deaths and all that, but in terms of blood and gore, this movie doesn't have that much of it. I mean, yeah, this movie does have a huge body count for a slasher film. A total of 22 people die in this movie. But what's the sense of having that big of a body count if you're not really going to show much of the killing? Just have it mostly off-screen and shit. Like, it's... Come on. But anyways, besides the lousy kills for the most part, now here is the reason why I hated this movie when I first saw it. Why did I hate this movie and not the first one when I first saw them? Yeah, I know. Because remember how Jason was not the killer in the first film? He's also not the killer in this movie. Yeah, but here's the thing. It made sense in the first movie why Jason was not the killer. It was his fucking mother. She had her own revenge quest. I was able to understand that. Watching that for the first time as a kid. This movie, however, this thing I still do not like about this movie. I fucking hate the twist in Friday the 13th, Part 5. The twist fucking you'll lose brain cells. Actually, yeah, I'm gonna fucking spoil the twist. This movie's almost 40 years old. Whatever. How dare I spoil an almost 40-year-old movie, right? Anyways, yeah. Jason's not the killer. It's actually a fucking paramedic who fucking goes on revenge, just like Jason's mother, just because this one fat kid gets killed by this other random guy at this fucking a halfway house. He's on it. So he kills. So yeah, this one person kills this fucking kid, and then he just kills the whole, pretty much everybody at this fucking halfway house, pretending to be Jason. Like, what? Holy shit. Fuck. That is some bad writing. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I still hate this. I still hate that aspect about this movie. But I don't know, this movie really grown on me for all the good stuff that it does have. You know, with the memorable characters, the fucking campiness and all that. For all it's worth, this movie is entertaining. Is it one of the weaker Friday the 13th films? Yeah. But in terms of entertainment value, it's like actually kind of up there with one of the most fun ones. It's not one of the best, but it's one of the most fun. Minus the final act. You know? Friday the 13th Part 5 is... If you're willing to tolerate some stupidity, I think you'll really like this film. Call me a not a real Friday the 13th fan, because I said something good about this movie, but whatever. I've been a fan of this franchise since I was a kid. I'm still a fucking fan of this franchise, and you know what? This movie's fun. It's not the perfect Friday the 13th movie. It's not as good as the previous 3 installments, but you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give Friday the 13th Part 5 A New Beginning a B. That's right. That's right, a B. You know what? I don't care. It's the rating I give this movie. It's the rating this movie deserves, just for at least entertaining me. Anyway, stick around for Part 6. Yeah, that's right. I'm going to be reviewing a much better Friday the 13th movie next. Yeah, Part 6. It's one of the best ones. Anyways, see you later, folks.